holiday weekend. You're still full, I'm sure. Anyway, first and foremost, I gotta warn you, I think everyone knows that we are recording this for uploading to our member portal and for those that want to watch it later. So I just want to make sure that it's okay with you that we are recording it. And if not, then you know what to do. So tonight's guest, we have one of our NOAA certified builders joining us. His name is Andy, and this is his lovely wife, Gina, and they're a husband and wife team. So we're anxious to get started and hear their tiny story. Robin, do you want to start?
Well, I certainly can. Every time we talk to a builder, I'm excited, especially if someone that I don't know very well. One of the things that this Monday nights has done for me is kind of connected me with some of the builders that I don't get to connect with very much. So anyway, I don't know that much about you guys other than your Firefly. So if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. I just want to make sure everyone's hear me.
Hear you just fine.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Perfect.
So my dad dropped me off at a construction site when I was 15 years old, and I sort of fell in love. Even though I started out sweeping floors and, hammering nails on the roof, and I just really fell in love with, going home every day and watching the house go up, watching the walls take shape and everything. And went back the next summer, worked for a different crew, and never really looked back. Thought about, going straight into trades, but my parents, kind of forced me to go to undergrad, and I went straight over to the technology department and said, do you have anything to do with building? And they had a construction management program. So I went and did that. And that's Gina and I met, got married when we were in college. And so literally, since we were about 20 years old, which is 25 years ago now, we have been building together, renovating together. We've done new homes together, and kind of throughout that whole, 2.5 decades, kind of found a way to work together. Gina, we grew up in Michigan, learned how to build in Michigan. Gina hates to be cold. So that pushed me to get more interested in building science and how to build comfortable, durable homes. And so that's our story. That's where we were at a few years ago. We were starting to, I actually, out of college, I got a job with Pulte Homes, managing large subdivisions of these giant houses, and it just was crushing my soul. And so we got away from that. We started doing some flips and some renovations and new homes and things ourselves. And but even that, we started dreaming of getting smaller and smaller. How can we get by, with less, lower our footprint, that kind of thing. That got us interested in tiny homes. And then a few years back, it's like 4 or 5 years ago now, I guess, but we sold everything, like literally everything. We had just built a new house, bigger than we would normally build, sold that, took some money off the table, and we traveled as a family. We have 2 daughters at 18 and 20. And they were, getting close to leaving the house, and we decided that we wanted to travel together. We did a 1.5 years in an RV. We loved living tiny like that. And that got us dreaming even more about how we could build, something at that scale, but way nicer, way more comfortable. Cause if it wasn't like 75 out, the RV was either too hot or too cold, or what. And it was a pain to try to keep it comfortable. And so, like, how could we make this more durable, more comfortable, and just more pleasant to live life in, but still tiny? So that's where our sort of passion for building and designing and figuring out how to build just a really comfortable, durable, pleasant tiny house. And a couple of years ago, we came back we were coming back to the States after we had traveled in Europe and in Asia for a little bit. And we settled in Greenville, South Carolina. Wanted to get away from, we had skipped out on a few winters and we weren't going back. And so, so we built a house, the home we're in right now, with a big workshop attached just right onto the side of the house. So we don't live in a tiny home, but it's pretty small. You know, it's only 20 feet wide, 40 feet long, 2-story. So it's not huge, but we built it this dimensions. You'll see when we go outside, I'll show you the shop and stuff, so that the shop would be, you know, attached right to the side. And we built our first tiny house a couple of years ago. And, you know, we started putting it on, you know, sites to sell and Instagram and things like that, started to get a lot of attention, and we pretty much haven't looked back. We're very happy with the way we build. We have capacity maybe for 6 a year because it's just us. I hire spray foam, but other than that, we do everything. I don't build the trailers either. We order the trailers and we hire spray foam. Otherwise, we do everything, and we like it that way. I'm really fussy about how it all comes together, and so I just do it myself.
Andy, let me jump in here and ask you
Sure.
a little bit. Backing up just a little bit, you said that when you were living in an RV, if it wasn't 70 degrees, it was too hot and too cold. And I hear that same story from the people that do schoolies, that
Yeah.
they have the same issue, and they're always chasing that 70-degree weather, you know, because of the poor insulation, the windows are single pane windows, you know, and that kind of a thing. And so they just they're just not built for either hot weather or cold weather, humid weather, things like that. What do you do differently in your tiny house that makes it not an RV?
Yeah. So we build the NOAA standards. We've got 2x4 walls. So we've got lot space, you know, cavities for a lot more insulation. But I think even more, one thing we learned in Michigan with renovating an old house is that it's actually like we lose a lot more energy and a lot more comfort due to air infiltration. We packed our walls with, you know, our old house with insulation, and that helped a little, but it was really the drafts, you know, the way that, you know, the small little places where air would get in uncomfortable places. So we use either zip or force field, some sheathing with an integrated weather barrier. And Gina is very particular about how she tapes every seam. So we build an airtight shell. We use closed cell spray foam, and then we put some sort of, you know, ventilate, either a passive air vent or sometimes an ERV, just depending on how big the unit is or what it's going to be used for. And
What do you put in the floor? Do you also use spray foam in your floors?
Yeah,
So floors, walls, and ceilings.
Yeah. So depending on which trailer manufacturer, sometimes we do 2 inches of rigid foam all the way under all the cross beams and things like that. And we use like fender washers and screws to hold that up under. So it creates a thermal break underneath the cross members.
Right.
And then we'll fill the cavity with mineral wool. So we'll do that sometimes. But if we have a steel pan under, which is, you know, I don't know, about half our builds, we'll have a steel pan under. Then it's like, I want a closed cell in every little, you know, nook and cranny. So I hire my closed cell guy to come and do that in the bottom. So
yeah. So when you do the zip panel, zip board, if everybody doesn't know what that is, it's basically OSB with some kind of a plastic film attached to it, something, they're either red or green.
Yeah, it's a thick paint, really, you know, but
it's waterproof.
Integrated weather barrier is what they call it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and so and then you tape the seams on that. And do you like that better than a house wrap?
I do. I find that it just is more forgiving. For every penetration, it's just easier to seal up. And I just, house wraps, when they get, especially when you're putting a siding, like a lap siding or something right up against it, because it's hard to sacrifice the width to do an actual rain screen, to put a gap
Right,
between the,
right.
So if you do, then I think, maybe house wrap will perform just fine. But oftentimes we can't sacrifice that extra width. We're fighting for every half inch in
Right,
these things.
3/4 of an inch or something. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I just feel more comfortable. I still think about everything I've ever built since I was a teenager. I still think about it, it would keep me up at night. Some of the things I've seen with house wrap, it's just really hard to get perfect, and I just feel like that the integrated weather barrier is a lot more forgiving. And in the real world, I think has a little better performance, but that's just my opinion. It makes me feel, makes me sleep better at night. So
How do you handle your windows and doors, installation of windows and doors?
Yeah.
Another
So
place for more penetration, more aerial infiltration possibilities.
Yeah. So we follow the best practices of, we do back caulk on the flange. We do flange windows, back caulk on the sides and the top, not on the bottom, just in case, the condensation still has a route out. Then we tape top, sides, again, not on the bottom, so the condensation has a route out. We fully tape with flexible tape the sill before the window goes in. And then
do you go up the side a little bit with that tape?
Yeah, we go up the side.
All the way or part of the way?
I think we're starting to just go all the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the reason why I asked. I see some people that they go up about a foot on either side, which is not a problem. But if you go all the way, I guess it's a better deal. To do the whole thing, and then you put your window in, and then you tape top and sides. Well, sides first and then top, so that it laps the correct way.
Gina's the taper. She's got that whole shingle effect down pat. She's very good at it. So yeah.
All right. Oh, by the way, guys, in case you didn't already know, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or put them in the chat. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Forgot
that's okay. Yep. Like I said, we've got capacity for about 5 or 6 a year. We really like that pace. We like doing it. I just really enjoy pretty much everything about building. And Gina and I like working together a lot. And so we're not that interested in scaling up. We don't really need to. Our overhead is really low. And we get the chance to work, on every individual house that goes to, every customer. And so we're kind of just very happy with the size and scale and pace that we get to build at. So, yeah.
What size houses are you building?
They have all been, well, they've varied, mostly between 26 and 30 feet, although we have done, and 8.5 feet wide. We have done a 37 by almost 12 that went to it was a local contact. They own a little like tubing and sort of like river tubing. Yes, sorry, river tubing. And they have a few Airbnbs right on the river, and they just wanted another one. And this was what they wanted. And we just happened to have this was early on, like our third house or something like that. And we had a gap. And so we said yes, but I literally had 2 inches to get on. I only have a 12-foot door, by 12 by 14-foot door on our shop. And so I left the windows out, and we did everything else, finished almost all the inside, pulled it out. Then I slapped the windows in real quick and did all the siding in a couple of days. And so we're not going to do that again, but we have done it, and it's beautiful. People love it. I mean, if people want to hunt it down and see it, they can. It's Saluda Outdoor Center, And they have it on Airbnb. There's lots of great reviews on it and lots of pictures and stuff like that. And it's in Greenville, South Carolina, Saluda Outdoor Center. So.
Oh,
Cool. I
That's-
just did the calculation. Sorry, Leanne. Just did the calculation on that 12 by 38, and it came up to 456 square feet, which is a little larger than your park model.
Yeah, actually, so that included a 7-foot porch. So you
Okay.
gotta back that. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify, make
Yes.
sure. Reason why I say that for everybody who doesn't know, 400 is a magic number, 399.99 for park model RVs. But porches and lofts do not count in that square footage. It's the perimeter, the exterior measurement. And so if he was able to get out a 12-foot door, he was a little bit less than 12 feet wide on his width, and 33 or something would probably still be all right for that. So with that porch on there, he's just fine. Sorry, Leanne.
Well, that's okay. I'm gonna get back to the Saluda because I thought that was really cool. But Ron, as a question, are your homes all built to order? Do they already have a customer? Do you already have a customer before you start?
That tends to be the case. Although we are planning on doing at least a couple of specs, just like we did. There's one outside that we can go look at. We built it just the way we were dreaming. We've been dreaming of this new model for a while. And sometimes if you don't build it, people don't know it exists, and so we built it and brought it to a recent tiny house festival. Robin saw it there. And so, yeah, we've got a couple other ideas. And so we're probably going to build another one or two, but otherwise we have currently, I think, 3 models on our website, and that we have like a build to order form, almost like customizing like a car or something like that, but all the interiors are, so that's a place to start. But everyone, like I said, because we do one at a time and only like 5, 6 a year, we bend over backwards to try to get people what they really need and what they're dreaming of. But we try to provide a starting point.
Cool. Is that form copyrighted, or is that something you could share with everyone?
Anyone can go take a look at it. Our website is fireflytiny.com. And if you like it, it's a WordPress website. So I use WordPress, and then it's a plugin called like A Forms or something. It was free. It's a free plugin. So yeah, people can reach out to me. I'm happy to send them the link.
Cool. Well, I wanted to ask you more about the Saluda because when I first saw that on Instagram, I thought I was just so happy, and I thought that was so cool. So did they, because they're in Greenville, close to you, did they reach out to you that had they been thinking of having a tiny house?
Yeah. I mean, so we're a brand new business, really. We've been building for a couple of years, and we were brand new at that time. And the thing is that, Gina and our oldest daughter, Haley, we're kind of working on the social media, posting pictures of the things that we built, but also like engaging with people in the local area. And what was it you say?
Yeah, I just commented on kind of like the local neighborhood, the West Greenville neighborhood, and said, oh, we're kind of new to the area. And so people saw that, and this a guy who was kind of a local investor, business owner of the Saluda, was like, oh, I didn't know you were here. I'm so glad to find you. And so he just like,
oh, awesome,
came right over and saw what we were building and said, I want one kind of like this. And so he was just like, that was a really quick, it came straight from Instagram. And yeah.
That's great. So in the home, do the people that stay there know it was built by you? Is there some kind of exposure you guys?
Yeah, so we actually did it for a little, like quite a bit less, I think, than we would charge right now.
Yeah.
But they paid us 100% in advance. And they had some windows that we could, anyways, it was a good deal for us at the time because we had some space to fill, and they let us put so we built a special like hexagonal, like sort of shelving thing it goes right over the kitchen area. And we put our logo, we had a custom engraver, laser engraver, do a nice piece of wood that fit right in the hexagon. So So everyone that goes in there sees that it's ours, and we have had some people who have stayed there and reached out to us with interest.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's been worth it. I mean,
That's great.
even if only
Yeah.
one more house came from that, it would have been worth it. But we get a lot of interest from that. Yeah.
That's excellent. I do remember that wood carving now. I think I featured it when I saw it, but
Yeah.
anyway, so
Cool.
yeah, I thought that was super cool.
So are we gonna be able to take a look at your
Yeah.
operation here? That's always
thing.
exciting.
First, that Christmas tree. It's beautiful.
So
we'll
when
go
your
outside,
when your shop is right next to your house, that's kind of convenient, or attached to your house. It's kind of convenient to go to work. Is it heated in there or not heated, or do you care about
Yeah.
that?
Well, we went through the first winter. Yeah, we went through the first winter without it, but we ended up installing a 2,700 or 27,000 BTU mini split in there, and that really takes the edge off, both when it's hot and when it's cold. We often here we'll walk out here. Let me see. I think I can switch. All
There
right,
you go.
we'll go outside. We often work like this with the door open. But if it's really hot or really cold, we'll shut the door and turn the mini split on, and that really helps. So I'll just back up a little bit. You can kind of see what we built. This might be interesting for kind of there are
Yeah.
much bigger tiny home builders than us, obviously, but this is our setup, and we enjoy kind of the lifestyle that it provides.
So that's a 20
I
by
see your
42
garden.
story.
This is 20, actually I think it's maybe 42 deep. So 20 wide, 42 foot deep, 44, somewhere around there. And then 9-foot ceilings on both floors, so that it all is built around this doors,
Right.
So, yeah.
You got a lean-to going there on
there's a
on the
shed
side.
roof off there. Yep.
That is cool.
So, so this shop is 22 feet wide. This door is 12 feet wide, 14 foot high. It's 52 feet deep. So the shop is actually longer than the house. And then we're actually planning over the next few months to the back wall, we'll put a big door in, and we're actually going to put an extension. We're pretty much going to double the size of the shop so that we can put a proper like paint finishing space, and we can do a proper wood shop back there. Because we're planning on building some slightly bigger ones this year, and it gets really cramped in just this one shop. So we're not really going to have like a separate bay to do two at a time. It's just going to be Gene and I sometimes fight about, who gets to use the shop space. Am I going to create sawdust, or is she going to, finish some wood, So we wanted to avoid that, in the future. But we built what we could afford to get started. And, and now things are going really well. So we're going to expand, and
Cool.
and we'll be a little better off. So
That's awesome.
So this is
great.
the Prairie model that we built for the Tiny House Festival, and it is all one level, as you'll see. Couple of things on the outside. This is steel siding. It goes on similar to a vinyl siding, but it's a thick gauge steel with a lifetime paint, hail, dent, rust warranty. And so it has this sort of like, you can kind of see it has like a stamped wood grain. It's really nice finish. And then these are the same sort of product, guaranteed for life. And then I have a local metal supplier we use all metal roof. I try not to put anything that's not, doesn't have at least an 80-year warranty on it, on these things. So, I have them bend up like special trim, and things like that to do all our roofs, our fascia, even our soffits. I use in this one, I just use flat stock that is held in place with construction adhesive, and then a custom trim wraps around it. So we try to keep it really sleek, really really maintenance free. So
When
Cool.
you
And my-
put that metal siding on, Andy, does it expand and contract like vinyl, or can you go ahead and nail it hard?
I put screws in, so I use like truss head screws because I don't trust nails with the with the way these things have to be able to move around and stuff. So I put truss head screws, and I don't drive them home, but they say it expands and contracts much less than vinyl. So yeah,
Okay.
Mm.
much less. Yeah. You can see we typically mount our mini splits up front, although we have done them in the back on a few models, but we typically do a 9,000 or a 12,000 BTU mini split in every home. One of the ways that tiny home is different than an RV.
Right.
So sorry, it's a little dark in here, but I think the phone
Right.
will maybe work out.
Yeah, we can see just fine.
Okay. So this one again is it's on a 26-foot trailer, but we cantilevered the bed platform. So there's a separate bedroom back here, which is we use this sort of slat divider wall so that the mini split can still get air back there. And we put a nice ceiling fan in to kind of create pull that air down from the mini split. And then so this is a bed platform that cantilevers about 30 inches off the end of the trailer. So we're able to keep the wheel wells really small because we use a 26-foot trailer. And since doesn't have a loft, it's not the full 13.5 high, and we use really lightweight. This is an Eastern white pine, which is lighter than cedar even. It's super lightweight. We had this one weighed, and we're at about 11,500 pounds, and the axles are rated up to 14. So that gave me the comfort to kind of push the bed platform back and create a lot more space in here, even on a 26-foot trailer. So by keeping only the two axles, that means that we could kind of customize this couch to go right over the wheel wells, so you can't even really see it.
Mhm.
We did some custom shelving and entertainment center here, and there's some custom some LED lighting. I wish it had it plugged in right now, but we did some. We routed out an LED, in this shelving unit here. So there's LED under the toe kick. I should have plugged it in, but we were coming home from something else. So, and then this is a bathroom. I don't know how well it'll show up, but we do a little bump out off the front. You probably saw that when we were out there. I don't know if
Yeah.
but that's what that was. That little bump out the front is this little space for a vanity. It really makes the bathroom a lot more roomy. And then probably not going to be able to see too well, but we have done tile. Yeah, it's not going to work out, but we have done tile in showers before and haven't had any problem with it. But in this one, we used a vinyl composite that snaps together and gets held on with construction adhesive. It almost goes together like these luxury vinyl plank floors do. And it just turned out really well. Everyone who's come through it really, really likes it. It's lighter than tile. And I think it actually, people actually trust it a little bit more. People are nervous about tile in tiny homes. So that's why we did that in this one.
Composting toilet or regular?
It's a regular toilet. So most of ours, we do just like have RV hookups outside. We do 50 amp, on standard. We do have some tiny home communities up in North Carolina. We have some interest from, they do 100 amp hookups if they want, and so we'll do that. We do you can see, we do a full household panel. I can easily, wire it for 100 amp, but then they have to hardwire it. We can't do the RV plug. So yeah. We have a flip up table here. So yeah. And then, this one's interesting too, because it's all electric. There's no propane in it. We have a dual induction burner. And then we did, I don't know if this will show up, but under here, there is a electric tankless water heater that I was able to source. I've been looking for something that would work and still fit within the 50 amp budget for a long time. And this one, we tested it out. Gina took a shower. No, I was in the shower. Gina was running a hair dryer and all the lights were on. And we were good to go. So I am very excited about that because I just, if we can get all electric as an option, I really like it. So
Can you share the manufacturer of that hot water
I
heater?
can. Yeah. Let me go. The German manufacturer, and I will just bring you right up to the box.
There you go. Take a screenshot of that, guys, or something, or picture. Let me hold it right there. I want to take a picture of it too. And how many amps does it pull?
They recommend a 50 amp breaker on it, but that I called the manufacturer and I did the math, and they said that that's if you don't turn it up to 140 degrees, you could get by. And so I put it on a 40 amp, a dual pole 40 amp, and had no problems. We had it on set to, you can set the temperature, on it. And the nice thing about this one too, is that you could, if it can't keep up. So if the groundwater temperature goes down or something like that, it will automatically adjust the flow rate rather than the temperature.
Oh,
So
okay.
So instead of like getting a cold shower, you might just get a slightly less pressure on your shower. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think we keep ours on 110.
Right.
So I don't know what you keep yours on, but in Florida we do have mostly warm water most of the time, and but I think ours, we have a bigger one that I think I've forgotten. I think it has 260 amp breakers in it, but
Right.
it's good to see one that has a 50 or a 40 amp breaker that'll work from that. Do you have a special shower head on there? Do you know what the GP gallons per minute is on that?
I have done low flow, but I wanted to test and just see what we could get away with. So I kept it's 1.5 gallons.
Okay.
Yep.
That's not bad. If you can get 1.5 gallons of hot water every minute, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm completely satisfied with that as an option. This one that we have in the shop right now is also a 26-foot trailer. You see, this one actually has this is a propane style outdoor vented water heater. And we do, what I did is actually, I did a 2x6 wall just on the back. And so I put this, I was able to then bury this kind of enclosure in that wall a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't stick out that much and still get insulation sprayed around it. So it's totally sealed well. And so this is one option that we do. I'd love to go all electric for those who can, but some people still need to have that propane option. So this one.
Now you don't have a bump. You have a bump out up above there.
Yep.
On this one, do you have a loft in this one?
Yeah, we'll go inside in just a second. This one actually has 2 lofts. It's a 26-foot trailer, and it's 8.5 foot wide. And this is a pretty standard. We often use this hidden fastener standing seam as siding. And I really like the way it goes together. And then we'll often try to use this other metal siding like we had on the other one. This one's a little different. You can kind of see it has a much flatter profile.
Mm-hmm.
This is all manufactured by a company called Quality Edge. And this is their Vesta line. The other one that we looked at is their, what they call the True Cedar line. Let me just get a piece of it in case people are interested. This is what this profile looks like. I don't know.
Yeah,
See the light.
yeah. So it doesn't look like the lap board siding. It actually is just looks like it's just straight tongue and groove.
Yes, well, it's a lot. This one's even thicker than the other, and it just, you kind of see that Z. It fits down in instead of
Mhm.
most siding, like you clip it in and you pull up. This
Right.
fits right down in. It actually creates a really consistent sort of the really flat, almost like a nickel gap type feeling to it.
Which is a lot better when you're putting on your light fixtures and your venting out.
Yeah, you can see.
You know,
you can see here. It's really nice. I didn't have to do any block. I didn't have to put any like mounting blocks or anything like that, which I would normally do if I'm doing like a lap siding. Yep.
I like the yellow. Hey, Andy, Ron wants to know, is this unit on a straight axle or a drop axle?
Yeah, this one's a drop axle. So yeah, we've got a lot. So I'm gonna walk in here, and you see, like there's a lot of space up in that loft.
Mhm.
How high is that loft from the floor?
The loft is 6'7" after the 3/4 inch nickel
Right.
gap gets put on. 6'7", and so you got about 3.5 inch and a half. You got about 5 inches here, and on the tall side, I believe it's about 4'6" or 7". I can't remember exactly. Well, I've got a tape. I could measure it if anyone really is interested, but it's
Yeah, we are
it's a
interested.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so
We'll
that's
do it.
that's something to pay attention to. 6'7" is not a bad ceiling height.
No, it's not bad. We're at 49
That's
inches.
good. Mhm.
And
How
I
about on the
might
other
actually-
end?
Other end, I think I come down like 6 inches, but it might be 6'8" here. I'm almost 6'8". So,
Okay.
and then on the other end, I am 43.
43 inches. Okay. So in this case, his entire loft would be counted as loft space. According to Appendix Q, you can only count 36 inches or more. And if you are going from one side to the next, what was it, 49 down to 43, that's 7 inches.
Mhm.
That's about 1 inch to the foot fall.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I have this one. I have at like as shallow as I can go and still maintain the warranty for my hidden fastener steel roof.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what we do there. So that's the main loft. It will get like a built-in wall divider with space for like some storage behind. And if you're interested in what like a stair, like we do a full storage stairs with mostly drawers and things like that going up here, and then the fridge will go kind of tucked behind there. Our Instagram has pictures of other ones that we've done like this one, so you could check that out for like what that finished product looks like. And then on the other side here is a long kitchen counter with the sink. This one will have a dishwasher, full dishwasher. It will have a dual induction burner. We'll have some tile backsplash. Actually, we're gonna have a tile backsplash. That's why that's kind of empty there. And then a tall pantry cabinet. I think this was an 18-inch tall pantry cabinet up against the bathroom wall there. So, and then if I turn around, you'll see another loft, which will have, can be storage or can be, it's just not, it's not really meant, because it's going to have sort of a ship's ladder that is integrated into a entertainment center here, because we plan on people having a kind of an L-shaped couch in this area here. And then there's enough room for a queen mattress up there if people want, but you know, it's just it's kind of an added space. The mini split will go up there as
Gotcha.
well. Yeah.
Okay.
So is this the one that might be sold tonight, or is that the other one?
No, the prairie, the one that we were just in, we call that one the prairie, the all one
Gotcha.
level one. This one we call the Lumos. And
Lumos?
we started it actually because our oldest daughter was talking about taking it to Orlando area, but she's actually delayed that. So we're gonna finish it up and just sell it, and we'll build her whenever she's ready to go. So it's not gonna be this one.
So one of the problems or challenges that we have in warmer weather is the lofts seem to be hot all the time. You get, air conditioning, cold air actually falls and hot air rises. With the mini split at one end, obviously that loft is going to be nice and cool. How do you circulate the air to get it over into the other loft?
Yeah, well, there will be also a ceiling fan here that we've had other clients that kick that on, and it mixes the air up quite a bit. And then this integrated storage half wall here is a great spot. We always put a plug right there. If people really need it, they can put a fan to pull that air over. But the other thing that has helped is we do a galvanized, a silver roof, which creates a radiant barrier. It reflects a lot of the sun's energy right away. And then with almost 4 inches of closed cell foam, we find that ours aren't experiencing that quite as much heat gain in the lofts as other ones that we've been in.
Cool. Are you putting in a 9 or a 12,000 BTU?
On the 26-foot trailers, we put the 9 in.
Okay.
Anything longer, and we recommend it gets, like if we go over 28, 30 feet, then I start to recommend let's put a 12 in. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a brand that you like of mini split?
We have had good luck with the Cooper and Hunter off of Amazon. Good luck. They've performed well, and I can always get them, which means, and so I've gotten to know like how their installation goes, and like how their template is and stuff like that, which helps because, I always want it to be, I always want to kind of leave it in the line set in the right spot and all that kind of stuff. Cause we put our line sets in the wall. I don't really like them hanging outside, and I understand that that's the way it goes, but I try really hard to get it in the wall, really clean. You don't see it from the outside. And so that means I got to get in there before spray foam. And so I'm if I can use a brand that I've used before, that makes me feel better about it. But so Cooper and Hunter has been good for us. We have also had good luck with the Mr. Cool. If you can get them, they were hard to get last year. So yeah.
Cool.
But again, I haven't tried that many. I don't know. Those are the ones that we've used. I've used, there's a brand that Lowe's has, the AUX. That's actually the one that's in our shop because it was like shockingly cheap. And it's fine, but I don't think I don't know. I don't think I would put it in a client's home and be responsible for it long term. It's just seemed suspiciously cheap. I don't know.
Get what you pay for.
Yeah. So then if I walk back into here just real quick, this is almost a 7-foot space back here. There'll be a built-in dresser here and hanging spot. So this will kind of have a full like wardrobe closet. This is an option that we sometimes use. Like it has like a just integrated storage that clips in the corners. Like I said, this was going to be for my daughter, And so we were going with like a really maintenance free, this takes no caulk, no anything to install this. And I can get it, I can always get it from Home Depot, which has been important over the last couple of years, just to make sure that you
Right.
can get something, So we always I tend to put the vent fans like right in the shower area. So it just sucks it right out. And I haven't had I've had good luck with that, having it right in the shower area. We usually put a shower door on, and that gets the moisture right out, right from the source. So let's see, there'll be a toilet here, a vanity sink here, and the sink top, the countertop will come all the way across, and there'll be a built-in like washer dryer combo here. So
Nice.
yeah.
Can't wait to see the finished.
Very
Yeah,
similar
with
to
the
one that we
swing.
did. Very similar to one that we did about a year ago. The women that we built it for, they named it the Burrow. So if you're looking back on our Instagram or whatever, you can see a very similar to what this one is, the finished product. So yeah.
And which
Type
one
of door
has
do you-
the swing?
The swing was in one that we called the Spark, which is a lot like the Prairie that we went through first, but it doesn't have a room divider. It's smaller. We did it on a 24-foot trailer, and it's really kind of meant to be like a backyard, like an Airbnb or like a weekend getaway type of thing. It's very compact. Yeah.
What type of
Love that
bathroom
swing.
doors do you use on that? Is it a barn door or a
We
pocket
have
door?
done barn door, and it was not worth the trouble. So we always do pocket doors now. Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, good. That's exciting. That's a good tour there.
I just have
And
one
then,
last question.
Sure.
With it being just you and your wife pretty much, and your daughters, when you need a third or fourth hand, how long from start to finish does it take you guys to do a tiny house?
Yeah, I think we're getting to the point where we can build pretty easily a tiny house in under 2 months.
Wow.
But we did the Prairie in
3 weeks.
21 days.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's
But
incredible.
that was very long days. And we had we had everything on site, including I ordered 2 sets of windows for that one, just to make sure that we would have everything we needed, and no delays or anything like that. So yeah.
That's the one you took to the show?
That's the one that we toured first, the Prairie, and we took it to the Tiny House Festival. Yep.
So you were under the gun on that one to get it ready for the show.
So we had, just before that, we did a very big one. It was for a family of 5. It was a 39-foot gooseneck, 8.5 feet wide, had 3 distinct sleeping areas. Given the codes, the way they're written, we had to put 5 smoke detectors in that one. So and just we had a bunch of delays. That one we actually went with a steel frame through Volstruct with that one, which was an interesting process, but it was slow. So that backed us up like crazy, and we still wanted to get one to the festival. We've been dreaming of that model for a while, and so we just kind of put our heads down and shoulders to the plow, and we got it done. So yeah.
Well, you guys did great work. Love the work you do together. It's good y'all get along.
Yes.
I got
Yes,
some
that is true.
comments.
I realize not everyone could do it, but we really enjoy working together, and so we do.
Yeah, right. So Nancy said, I love the pride you take in your builds. I believe I even saw spray foam around any PVC going through the floor.
Yes, from the top and the bottom, and then I use typically like zip stretch tape around whatever, around the bottom penetration to seal that up. Yeah.
Okay, Ron said, how long of a house do you feel comfortable doing a drop axle without tail drag?
Yeah, well, our driveway has a good slant towards the street, and so I don't think I do more than I haven't been comfortable doing more than 26. Like 26 double axle has been like what I've been comfortable with. In another scenario where my shop entrance was fine and I knew where it was going, you might talk me into a 28 or 30, but it just starts to get really tight. So yeah.
I love your shop there.
Yeah, it's
and then
really messy right
Nancy-
now. After our
Oh.
Gina and I took a 2-week cruise. Actually, we like booked that in the middle of our epic work adventure. We found a cheap cruise and we're like, we're just getting away. And then so
Awesome.
we did that, and then we did Thanksgiving, and so we haven't really had a chance to clean up the shop from our crazy work adventure. But yeah.
That's okay. We won't look. And
All
Nancy
right.
wants to know if you have ever thought of entering the Guinness Book of World Records with that build rate.
Well,
That's
you know,
very
for two people,
impressive.
it is a quick, yeah. But you talk to guys that you talk to Homestead or the Minimalist guys, you know, they're cranking one out every 8 or 9 days. But yeah, for two people, it was a quick build, that's for sure. Yep.
Yeah, very impressive. Very, very.
Well,
Robin,
guys,
do you have
that's
any-
about all we got for today, time-wise. And if you have any questions, now's a good time to ask them. But I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Andy and Jeannie Gina, for doing such a great job on these tiny houses and sharing so freely with us. In not only the shop and how you do things, but also the product that you put out with, and some of the appliances that you use, and the
Yeah.
thought process behind that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you much. Let's turn it back over to Leanne. Let her wrap us up.
Yeah, and just really thank you so much, you and Gina, for helping us out, being on our Tiny Talks workshop tonight. I know everyone that watches will enjoy it. And I'm just super, super duper impressed with you two. I mean, aside from you don't have any other workers except for when you have to call your daughters down to help you hold, what was it? A huge piece of glass or something?
Yeah, those
Um,
big
so-
windows, the big window in the back of the prairie. It's like it's almost 7 feet wide and around 60 inches tall. That's
Yeah.
really heavy. So we get all four of us, our 18-year-old, our 20-year-old. I don't know when they move out. I got a couple of guys on the street I can pay $20
Right.
to come and help me put the window in, I guess. Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll start having grandkids for you or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, if she does come on down to Orlando, let me know, because that's my
I
next
will.
bullet.
Yeah, I know.
So, but,
Yeah.
anyway, just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and hope that you had a super Monday. Tomorrow night we will have Daniel Zarpellan speaking with us. He's a tiny house enthusiast, and he'll chat with us about some different topics. So we'll be looking forward to that. And I got quite a few comments. Thank you. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it too. I like working with you guys. You're always a pleasure to talk with when you call in. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, and hope you have a great night. And thanks again for taking the time to be with us, and good luck on your sales call right after this.
Thank
You're
You guys are
welcome.
doing
Thanks a
great work.
lot.
Thank you. Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
thank you.
Have a great
Night.
night.
Bye now.